Welcome back to Today in History. Have you ever wondered what happened on this day in history? From groundbreaking scientific observations to historic firsts in sport, politics, and entertainment, the 26th of July has witnessed events that shaped the world in unexpected ways. Let's take a journey through the remarkable stories behind the date. On the 26th of July, 1609, English mathematician and astronomer Thomas Harriot made the first known drawing of the moon based on telescopic observation. Using an early telescope acquired from Dutch instrument makers, he sketched the lunar surface with striking detail. Though Galileo's lunar sketches are better known, Harriot's came months earlier, making his work a quiet but crucial milestone in the history of astronomy. In 1656, the celebrated Dutch artist Rembrandt van Rijn declared bankruptcy. Despite his fame, Rembrandt had lived lavishly, purchasing rare art, antiques, and a grand home in Amsterdam. While the financial collapse was devastating, it marked a new period in his artistic career. Many consider the works from these later years to be among his most powerful and emotionally nuanced. The first recorded women's cricket match took place on this day in 1745, near Guildford in Surrey. Teams from the villages of Bramley and Hambledon played a spirited game on Gosden Common. Hambledon narrowly won, and contemporary newspapers praised the women for playing as skillfully as men, a remarkable early acknowledgement of women in sport. On the 26th of July, 1775, during the American Revolution, the Second Continental Congress established the United States' first national postal system. Benjamin Franklin was appointed as the first Postmaster General, having held a similar role under British authority. This marked a critical step towards American independence by creating reliable, internal communication free from British control. In 1803, the Surrey Iron Railway officially opened. Stretching 9 miles between Wandsworth and Croydon, it became the first public railway authorized by an Act of Parliament. Though powered by horses rather than locomotives, it laid the groundwork for the railway age, revolutionizing the transport of goods in Britain. Ryde Pier on the Isle of Wight also opened on this day in 1814. It became the UK's first pier built specifically to support passenger ferry travel, extending more than half a mile into the Solent. It transformed accessibility for sea travelers and marked a turning point in British seaside tourism. New Zealand officially moved its capital from Auckland to Wellington on the 26th of July, 1865. After years of political debate, Wellington's central location made it the more practical choice, and Parliament sat in the new capital for the first time that day, establishing it as the nation's administrative hub. In 1892, Dadabhai Naorogi became the first Indian and the first Asian elected to the British Parliament, representing the Liberal Party in London's Finsbury Central. Naorogi was a fierce advocate for Indian rights and a vocal critic of British colonial policy. He's remembered today as a key figure in both British and Indian political history. Los Angeles experienced its first major smog event on the 26th of July, 1943. The mysterious, stinging haze reduced visibility to just 3 blocks and caused public alarm. Though some feared a chemical attack, the phenomenon was eventually traced to vehicle and industrial emissions, marking the beginning of serious environmental awareness in the region. Also born on this day in 1943 was British rock legend Mick Jagger. As the frontman of the Rolling Stones, Jagger's career has spanned decades. With his electrifying stage presence and unmistakable voice, he became one of the most influential figures in rock music history. On the 26th of July, 1947, U.S. President Harry Truman signed the National Security Act, restructuring America's defense and intelligence framework. It established key institutions, including the Department of Defense and the CIA, organizations that continue to shape global affairs to this day. Walt Disney's animated adaptation of Alice in Wonderland premiered in London on this day in 1951. Based on Lewis Carroll's classic tale, the film initially received mixed reviews but later gained cult status for its imaginative style, quirky humor, and vivid visuals. Actress Sandra Bullock was born on the 26th of July, 1964. Known for her charm and versatility, she rose to fame in the 1990s and earned critical acclaim in films such as The Blind Side and Gravity. Today, she remains one of Hollywood's most respected and bankable stars. The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law in 1990, enshrining civil rights for people with disabilities in employment, transport, education, and public spaces. It has since transformed American society and inspired similar legislation around the world. At the 2016 Democratic National Convention, Hillary Clinton made history by becoming the first woman nominated for president by a major U.S. political party. Her candidacy marked a turning point in American politics, breaking a barrier that had stood for nearly 240 years. And finally, on this day in 2018, scientists at the European Southern Observatory announced they had observed gravitational redshift near a supermassive black hole for the first time. Using the Very Large Telescope in Chile, they confirmed predictions made by Einstein's theory of general relativity, offering direct experimental proof in the most extreme gravitational conditions ever observed. From astronomy and arts to politics and pop culture, the 26th of July has seen breakthroughs, challenges, and moments that still echo today. If you're enjoying these daily journeys through time, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. There's a whole world of history waiting to be discovered one day at a time.